Hey everyone, welcome back to the Pokemon Premier League. This is week 5, even though the last week 4 upload wasn't very long ago. It's because I'm actually behind, so I'm just trying to catch up on myself kind of thing. If you didn't see last week's battle, go watch it. I didn't battle it, my backup coach did. Just go watch it anyway, it's a pretty fun battle to watch. But at the moment we are 1 and 3? 1 and 3? Yes, 1 and 3 going into this battle, so we really need to start picking up some wins again. This week, though, we're taking on Slyro and the Pitsburg Pyroars, and boy, howdy, was his draft a doozy. The Pokemon he had drafted were Mega Altaria, Tornadus Therian form, Arcanine, Roserade, Bronzong, Hitmontop, Coffeegregus, Hydreigon, and Lantern. Pretty big threats in there, especially that Arcanine. Arcanine's been doing so much work for Slyro this season. But I felt kind of confident going into this match. I felt like I prepped well. I done about 5 hours prepping, which was like, this is the longest I've prepped for a match. I spent a lot of time getting ready for this one. And I'll go through my thought process as I'm going through the Pokemon. So, first up, we have Chew the Mew. We have Chew the Mew with the Choice Band this week. Jolly natured, just 252, 252. Has Knockoff, Drain Punch, Gunk Shot, and Zen Headbutt. Knockoff for Bronzong, and anything that wants to switch in. Knockoff's just a good move to have. Drain Punch for the Hydreigon switch in. For him predicting that I might only have the Psychic move, maybe on Bulky Mew variant. Drain Punch was pretty good on that sense. Also, I could use Drain Punch on Bronzong for neutral damage, and it was just good to heal back up on the Choice Band user. Gunk Shot, because with 252 HP, 252 attack and Choice Band, if he was minimal defense investment, not zero, but if he had like a few defensive investments, maybe for Ice Shard or Mamoswine, Gunk Shot was a 2-hit KO. And with the speed, if he wasn't fully invested in speed, even at +1 after Dragon Dance, Gunk Shot would 2-hit KO. If it hit both, that was. And Zen Headbutt pretty much for Hitmontop and Roserade. Choice Band Mew kind of just made sense to me this week. It, just retroactively looking back on it, not spoiling the match, but I kind of wish I brought Sword Dance instead, but I'm not sure what move I would have dropped. Potentially might have dropped Knockoff, because Drain Punch, like I said, hit Bronzong for neutral damage. So I potentially should have dropped Knockoff for Sword Dance, but hindsight's 2020. Next up, we have Mortimer, the Galvantula, with the Choice Scarf, who has Thunder, Bug Buzz, Hidden Power, Ice, and Volt Switch. Volt Switch this week, because he has no ground types. Choice Scarf, I think it was with 172 EVs. I don't remember the exact number, but I remember it has enough EVs, even at modest nature, to outspeed a fully speed invested Tornadus. So Tornadus' base speed was like 121. If it was fully invested, I had enough EVs to outspeed it with Choice Scarf, and then I had enough EVs to put into HP so that I could live one Hurricane as long as he wasn't Choice Specs. If he was Choice Specs, wasn't living any Hurricanes. I don't think anyone's living any Hurricanes from Choice Specs Tornadus. Also, Bug Buzz done good damage to Lantern, so I didn't really need Giga Drain on it. Bug Buzz just done more to his team in general than Giga Drain. And Thunder, just because Thunder on Galvantula is good, and it hits a lot of things hard. Next up we have Oasis, Vaporeon, who is fully defensive, 252, bold I'm pretty sure, yep. With Scald, Protect, Wish, Baton Pass. This was my Arcanine check. I brought this only for Arcanine. I was absolutely terrified of Arcanine. This was for Arcanine. Also kind of for Hitmontop. It can take on Hitmontop sort of well. Not as well as it takes on Arcanine, but it does okay against it. And slow Baton Pass was actually really beneficial this week, because like I said, it takes on Hitmontop quite well. Could take a hit from Coffeegregus due to its natural special defense bulk. Take a hit from Bronzong again because it's physically defensive and its natural Spadef bulk. So slow Baton Pass worked out pretty well this week. So I just brought it, and Wish, because I didn't need any other moves, pretty much. And with slow baton pass, I feel like Wish worked really well, in my head anyway. And there was a few Pokemon I was hoping to keep healthy. Next up we have Randy, the Venusaur, who is, I can't remember, sassy this week. He is sassy natured, so it's our specially defensive Mega Venusaur with Power Whip, Sludge Bomb, Hidden Power Fire, and Synthesis. We got HP Fire just so Bronzong doesn't wall us. That is the only reason for HP Fire. Sludge Bomb for neutral damage on Roserade, super effective on Mega Altaria, and Power Whip just in case he brought specially defensive Lantern, because, spoilers, I have Alakazam in my team who has Energy Ball, and I didn't want to have 2 special attacking grass moves just in case it was special defense Lantern. So I just brought Power Whip this week. I didn't really need the speed anyway, so Sassy just kind of worked out for me. And Synthesis to heal up on switches, because I kind of felt like he'd switch out Lantern on a Venusaur. Cofagrigus would switch out on Venusaur as it didn't do too much really. That kind of thing. Yeah, and potential Mega Altaria might switch out as well. But this Venusaur came pretty much for Mega Altaria, Lantern, and some Roserade as well, pretty much. Next up we had Alakazam. Standard Alakazam, Timid, 252, 252. I probably could have made it modest, thinking back on it now, because the only thing he has to really outspeed it is Tornadus. So yeah, thinking back on it now, I probably could have made it modest, because even if it was 252 Timid, the only things that could have outspeeded it was Scarf, and because I'm not Scarf, I'm not going to outspeed him anyway, so yeah, I should have made it modest, but oh well, live and learn. But we brought Energy Ball, Shadow Ball, Dazzling Gleam, and Psychic. Energy Ball for Lantern, we already discussed this. Shadow Ball for Cofagrigus and Bronzong. Dazzling Gleam for Hydreigon. Psychic to hit anything hard, pretty much, apart from Hydreigon. Alakazam was going to be good. It was going to be good. Dazzling Gleam took out Hydreigon. Psychic took out Hitmontop. Shadow Ball done a lot of damage to Bronzong if he was the physical variant. Psychic done a lot of damage to a lot of his team. I was relying on Alakazam a lot this week, hence why I made it Magic Guard Life Orb instead of Focus Sash or any other kind of thing. And last of all, we have Mamoswine, Chiltisha, who was jolly natured. I think it was, I can't remember Mamoswine's exact spread right now. I don't think it was 252 speed. I think it had enough speed to outspeed. I think it had enough speed. No, I don't remember now. No, I think it had minimal speed, because the only thing I needed it to outspeed Roserade, which it wasn't going to if Roserade was fully speed invested. Kind of needed it to outspeed Arcanine. Again, it wouldn't if Arcanine was fully speed invested. So I think I just gave it enough speed to make sure that it outsped Arcanine if Arcanine had no speed investments. That's pretty much what I did. Life Orb with Earthquake, Ice Shard, Stealth Rock, and Knockoff. Stealth Rock, I really wanted up this week for Tornadus because of the regen. And he didn't really have much ways to remove Stealth Rock, barring the Rapid Spin on Hitmontop. So there was that. And Knockoff again, so I wasn't walled by Levitate Bronzong. So that's the team. That is the team that is going to take on Slyro. Let's see if it done well. As always, I'm going to head it over to you, Battle Liam. So over to you, Battle Commentator Liam. Thank you, Team Prep Liam. Right, Battle Commentator Liam here. As you can see, this week Slyro brought Tornadus, Hydreigon, Roserade, Altaria, Hitmontop, and Bronzong. I prepped for Lantern and Arcanine so goddamn hard, and they didn't come. What I really didn't expect him to bring was Hitmontop, because I had Staraptor, I had Alakazam, and Mew. I really didn't expect him to bring Hitmontop this week, but he did, so there's that. So without further ado, let's just jump straight into the battle. I honestly don't even remember who I started off with, and I just done this battle yesterday. Today being the 7th of March. He started off with Metaton, which was the Bronzong. I started off with Mamoswine because he had a good lead up against most of his team, and I really wanted Rocks up straight away. I decided to go straight for a knockoff, just in case he went for like Gyro Ball and he was Choice Banded or something. Turns out it's just leftovers. I done a damage calc as well, found out he was fully invested in defense as he gets his rocks up. So I know at some point, pretty much, Vaporeon can take it out with a Scald probably, or do big damage to it. Alakazam can take it out with Shadow Ball. But I bring out Vaporeon here, knowing there isn't much Bronzong wants to do to me. Goes for the Toxic. I was pretty happy the Toxic wasn't on Mamoswine, because I didn't really have anything else to hit Bronzong, and I was almost certain it was Levitate. Otherwise he wouldn't have left it in, because it just would have died, I'm pretty sure. But we take the Toxic damage, which is no problem. He sees that we've got leftovers as well. Again, no problem. He switches out into Nando, goes out into his Roserade, at which point I predicted the switch and go for the slow Baton Pass. So it did work! It did work! The slow Baton Pass worked. At this point I get a free switch into Chew the Mew. Like I said, I'm Choice Banded. He withdraws. I went for the Zen Headbutt spoilers. And he brings in Fuijin, which was the Tornadus. I'm not sure why he brought this in. Maybe just to scout what I was. But Choice Band Zen Headbutt done quite a bit of damage. Not as much as I would have liked, but it done a fair bit. He does go for U-turn though, which does a lot to me. So he finds out straight away from that damage, that hit that I done, and the damage that he done to me, that I'm not bulky at all. Goes out into Hydreigon. I went for Zen Headbutt. Now I'm trapped into it, so I have to switch. I was 100% certain that this Hydreigon was Scarfed, just from the way he brought it in. From the way he brought it in, I knew this Hydreigon was Scarfed, but there wasn't much I could do about that. If he went for Dark Pulse, I would have died. If he went for U-turn, I probably would have died. So I had to switch. I didn't have an option. Just went out into Venusaur. He gets the free switch though, so he's getting the initiative on his side early on. He goes back out into Nando, goes out into the Roserade. I wasn't sure what this Roserade was. I wasn't sure if it was maybe like special defense or specs or assault vest. I wasn't too sure. He goes for the Sludge Bomb here though. That does quite a bit of damage, which shows me that he is definitely got fully invested in special attack. For some reason though, the Showdown calc was telling me that it was specs. So yeah, he goes for extra sensory. Showdown calc was telling me that it was specs, I promise you. So he got a free extra sensory off there. I took it relatively well though, but I get the Sludge Bomb off. The crit threw off my calcs as well, because then I couldn't tell if it was Assault Vest or not. I was fairly certain at that point it was Assault Vest, but the crit really threw off my calcs. He brings in Bronzong though. I go for HP Fire, thinking it would kill, but it didn't. He had some special defense investments, which didn't help at all. And neither does this special defense drop on Venusaur. So yeah, I kind of expected him to switch there, maybe to preserve the Bronzong to take a Ice Shard later on. But nope, he just goes for Psychic. I've made a lot of like over predictions in this match. I tried to play too smart, if you understand what I mean. Like I tried to make plays that didn't need to be played. I should have just killed off Bronzong there. Even though it left me on pretty much the same HP, I should have just killed it off. He brings in this Roserade now. I don't really have a switch in for Roserade, so I kind of just have to let it go down. Because if he went for extra sensory, I did have things that could take it. But if he went for like Leaf Storm, nothing was taking it, and it was just killing something guaranteed. I go into Tom here, and this was the deciding move of the match. I had Dazzling Gleam and Psychic, as you saw in my team prep. I went for Psychic to kill off the Roserade, and he brought in Choice Scarf Hydreigon. That was the move that pretty much decided the match. I literally, shit you not, I flipped a coin. I flipped a coin as to whether to use Psychic or Dazzling Gleam. It was a complete 50-50 decision. Came up Psychic. That happened. So now I had to bring in Oasis to take a Dark Pulse because no one else wants to take one. No one's going to take 2 Dark Pulses from Hydreigon pretty much, so I just had to send in like a Sacrificial Lamb, and I still needed Mew, I still needed Alakazam, and I still needed Mamoswine for the Mega Altaria, which just happened to be sitting in the back. So yeah, there was that. I do live on 1, which was kind of great. And I expected him to just kill me off there, but he goes into Nando, which was a really good play on his part. I really wish I would have died to that Toxic, but it was a good play on his part to go for the switch there, because he knew I didn't really have anything to bring in on the Roserade. So takes me back down, and he pretty much gets a free gig. I thought he went for Giga Drain there, maybe not. He just goes for Sludge Bomb, maybe predicting me to switch out there. I just let Oasis go down. I actually clicked Baton Pass there just in case I somehow survived. Here is another 50-50 decision. I didn't flip a coin on this one. This one I just decided to go for Drain Punch, thinking for certain Hydreigon was coming in, and it didn't. So, so Mew takes unnecessary damage. I was really certain that Hydreigon was going to come in, but it didn't. So Mew takes damage now as well. You can see a pattern emerging in this game, where my prediction, like every prediction I tried to make, just went wrong. Every prediction went the other way in this match, so it's unfortunate. I don't put it down to my team building. Maybe Choice Band Mew was a mistake. Like I said earlier on, I could have brought Swords Dance instead of Knockoff. But yeah, just every move, just like every prediction, every thought process I had, the opposite thing happened. So unfortunate, but Slyro was good about it. He brings in Hitmontop here. By this point, I'm not gonna lie, I'd pretty much given up. Like mentally, I'd given up. I just clicked Ice Shard. Noticed that it's physical defensive as you'd expect from a Hitmontop with Intimidate. Didn't have much to switch in for a close combat. I kind of still needed this just in case maybe Mamo could get 2 crits on Mega Altaria with Ice Shard. So I bring in Alakazam, knowing I could take a close combat, which he went for. So I was pretty excited about that. I'm glad I took the close combat and got that prediction right. Here I clicked Dazzling Gleam because it do damage to anyone, pretty much. It was guaranteed killing Hitmontop because he's physically defensive, and he had Sucker Punch. That was very, 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 very good prep on Slyro's part for Alakazam, which Sucker Punch I didn't even think of. I probably might have seen it or would have thought of it if like I was still in the competitive mindset when this part of the match happened. But honestly, by this part, I'd just given up. So yeah, stuff happened. That's pretty much how this match went in my thing. Someone asked me like, "Oh, how did your week 5 match go?" I literally just said, "Stuff happened and I lost." Joy Scarf. Galvantula comes in now just for some damage on something. Thunder done an alright amount to Altaria. I was quite proud of how much that Thunder did to Altaria. After seeing this move though, I was fairly certain I was going to lose this week either way. I was fairly certain this week I was going to lose either way. Because he evolves into Mega Evolves and he has Cotton Guard. So he eats up Gunk Shot, he would have eaten up Ice Shard. Saying that though, the only attacking move, because he had Gunk Shot, Roost, no, he had Cotton Guard, Roost, Heal Bell and Dragon Claw. So if I'd managed to keep my Venusaur around, Sludge Bomb would have done good work to him. But yeah, there was nothing I could do to this Altaria. It's pretty much over at this point. He just heals up. I go for HP Ice trying to damage control. And it didn't do as much as I was hoping. I was kind of hoping for a lot more damage out of that. Galvantula is just sort of a bit underwhelming, to be honest. Sort of a bit underwhelming. I go for another HP Ice. Maybe I could crit. And then no, that didn't happen. Maybe Mamoswine could crit with an Ice Shard. That didn't happen either. Just to ruin that bit for you. So yeah, we lost that match. We lost this match too. We are now 1-4. But good work to Slyro. He had some good prep on his part with the Cotton Guard, Altaria, and the Sucker Punch on Hitmontop. That was really good prep on his part. But yeah, 1-5. Again, I don't think I prepped badly for this week. I made some bad plays, I'll admit. As always, I do make bad plays. I'm not the greatest battler, as I'm sure you guys know by I'm sure you guys know now I'm not the greatest battler by any stretch of the imagination, but I had fun, so that's all that matters. And some 50-50 decisions just didn't go my way. But next week, though, next week we're going to win. Next week, I have the utmost faith we're going to win. So, thank you guys for watching this battle. Hopefully next week I can get the win, so I can show you guys a win on this battle, on this channel again. It's been a while. But I hope you guys liked it, and I will see you all very, very soon. So, take care, and bye-bye.